It's your turn, baby.
I don't really want friends, I ain't shaking no hands cause these niggas be cool with the op. You fucking the plan and put two in your top. Grab the 76 too cause the Ruger is hot. With a big booty bitch when I cruise in the drop. She give me head to the league like it's not. Still sitting black in an off-white jacket. Never had lights, but I still told the rag. Thought granny in the kitchen when I'm cooking up cat. Dante at the door with the FN plan. Baby O with the police, fuck nigga ghost. How you family going picking out the cash. My little bitch from A-List, she do nails and lashes. Mixed with Creole, she do spells and magic. Foot on the pedal, I'm grinding, I'm mashing. Walk in the bank like a model of fashion. All the blue hunters I got, I've been counting so low, my finger got blueprints. 2016 coupe biz with the blue tint. 3.5 backwood for the blue. Instant on my clip, leave a fuck nigga rip. 250 a line, that's 100.
Internationally known but locally respected. Allow me to introduce y'all to my homie, Racker. It's your turn, baby.
I don't really want friends, I ain't shaking no hands cause these niggas be cool with the op. You fucking the plan and put two in your top. Grab the 76 too cause the Ruger is hot. With a big booty bitch when I cruise in the drop. She give me head to the league like it's not. Still sitting black in an off-white jacket. Never had lights, but I still told the rag. Thought granny in the kitchen when I'm cooking up cat. Dante at the door with the FN plan. Baby O with the police, fuck nigga ghost. How you family going picking out the cash. My little bitch from A-List, she do nails and lashes. Mixed with Creole, she do spells and magic. Foot on the pedal, I'm grinding, I'm mashing. Walk in the bank like a model of fashion. All the blue hunters I got, I've been counting so low, my finger got blueprints. 2016 coupe biz with the blue tint. 3.5 backwood for the blue bitch. Instant on my clip, leave a fuck nigga rip. 250 a line, that's 100 a seal. 100 rounds in the chopper, I'm shooting like Will. Fold a nigga up like a quilt. We smoking jealousy, that shit 300 a zip. Championship ring blingin', that's a trophy. Ice on my neck, made my shirt look soaky. I just spent 1,600 in Oakland. I can never let an op turn into a Zop pack. I just met a thought need to drop where the ops. Accidentally shot a cop trying to learn how to FN cock mat. These niggas cap, socks hat. Yeah. They run their mouth like a podcast. That's why my business I never broadcast. On the block we checking niggas hall pass. Killers creeping out of tall grave. All black Alexander McQueen, I'm a king. These niggas acting just making the scene. I got my best game from a fiend. I shoot with great aim like I'm Robocop. Glock 9 bang like a monoblock. Pulled up 8 plane in the soda pop. 20 in it banging, I got more in stock. Went to silent meeting, dropping 40 watt. 10 for the bracelet, it's a prom set. Killers come and kill you while you having phone sex. Nike dunks, I got a long I don't really want friends, I ain't shaking no hands cause these niggas be cool with the op. You fucking the plan and put two in your top. Grab the 76 too cause the Ruger is hot. With a big booty bitch when I cruise in the drop. She give me head to the league like it's not. Still sitting black in an off-white jacket. Never had lights, but I still told the rag. Thought granny in the kitchen when I'm cooking up cat. Dante at the door with the FN plan. Baby O with the police, fuck nigga ghost. How you family going picking out the cash. My little bitch from A-List, she do nails and lashes. Mixed with Creole, she do spells and magic. Foot on the pedal, I'm grinding, I'm mashing. Walk in the bank like a model of fashion.
Hey, bitch.
What's up, pussy?
Hey, I got you on camera, on blood. I'm shooting a video.
Oh, yeah, man. I get what I'm saying?
Yeah, talk your shit.
Yeah, nigga, bitch 21 checking in. I ain't checking out pussy ass nigga. Which I thought this shit was over. Yeah, bitch ass nigga.
Yes,
Ain't no
sir.
bitch nigga.
I don't know what the fuck going on, man. A whole lot of sick shit on this shit. Play each bitch.
Me, you spell like that?
Hop in the rental, mashed up all black, yeah, these niggas know what I'm on. Yeah. Walk down on feet with an ARP, yeah, we quick to get ops gone. Real big dog, keep it sticking out of bone. Smoking exotic, 350 a zone. These rappers my kids, they 6 shots clone. Design on my drip, bitch, I'm fly like I flown. Made 100 times 2, got that shit to my T-zone. Real busy nigga, I'm trapping out 3 phones. I'm moving black, I ain't talking about peace. Bitch, I'm in the field like a nigga got clicked. 32 for the watch and my shit cost a brick. Told them little niggas sit, I go cop you a bitch. I ain't finna fuck if that bitch got a stick. I'm screaming out fire, as long little print. We gon' wet up his block with 100 some shots, niggas know when we leave it, it's gon' be drink. Made a bitch get a drop, tryna fuck on the thought, yeah, that nigga die tryna think with his dick. My young nigga slimy like thuggers, you know that we shiesty, we robbing until we get rich. Can't catch him outside, it's a home invasion, you know we running all up in this shit. The lad nigga die tryna clutch on the stick, kinda punch on the K when his shooters gon' kill. Double back pump fire, it sound like a switch. Tryna beef with my gang, it's gon' be a risk. My bitch look just like Sierra, yeah, I'm pouring foes in the mist. Addicted to lean, I see perk when I piss. That little bitch is start eating both sides just like a Twix. Hop in the rental, mashed up all black, yeah, these niggas know what I'm on. Yeah. Walk down on feet with an ARP, yeah, we quick to get ops gone. Real big dog, keep it sticking out of bone. Smoking exotic, 350 a zone. These rappers my kids, they 6 shots clone. Design on my drip, bitch, I'm fly like I flown.
Design on my drip, bitch, I'm fly as a pelican. Skeleton traffic, a whale, whole elephant. Pull out the ticket for testing my intelligence. I'm out of space on a whole nother element. Two-tone Cartier skeleton. When it's beef, I don't take this shit serious, I think they just melting. My bro watching over, cause I know they fuck niggas devil. Shoot you dead in the face just for heckling. Just like a sea leaf and spin on the op block. AR-15 with the titties, no crop top. Say they won't smoke, hot box. Kill tech with a laser, I'm shooting like Cyclops. They say I'm bougie, I'm keeping it decent. Never did like it in, I just kept it in the reach. I just hit it one time, then slid like a visa. No, I can't never let them cross me, Jesus. Racks in my pocket, I just found for benefits. 762 ripping, knock off your ligaments. You can get robbed for your energy. And you still can get robbed if you in type of shit I'll be dealing with. Smoking until I just suffocate, everything on me is up to date. And don't believe what them suckers say up in the Drake till it fucking break. I never speak on the internet. That just be too much explaining. Run up them rats like I'm physical trained. Worth 100, so I keep the steel stained.
Man, what it do, what it do? Good early morning, man. Check this out, man. I was scrolling my shit or whatever. I seen something popped up on my little feed. They were talking about WWE women superstars, tag team champions of the world, Sasha, and Naomi. Two beautiful black women. If y'all seen the thumbnail and shit, but if we all know over the years, we all have heard how certain wrestling federations are fake. When you exclude like New Japan wrestling, shit like that, you have to kind of exclude them from out the equation because ain't nothing they do over there in Japan, ain't none of this shit fake. But you know, a lot of this shit scripted, just like the shit that being accepted with some of these fake ass beefs and shit. And you know, honestly, you know, they wasn't even we go back to just you know motherfuckers that probably grew up out watching wrestling and shit. You never have seen like black women take over, you know, any wrestling federation, whether you talking about WWE, WCW, ECW, TNA, the new shit like there's like the little underground scene for like like NXT. We never seen it until like now. But we talking about women wrestlers. You know, men wrestlers, they gonna let one get in every so often. You know, when you X out the equation of Jimmy Fallon's Snookum bloodline or um the Rock granddaddy bloodline or whatever. Cause most of the guys that's on wrestling 99 times out of 10, they coming from their bloodline. You know, even when you think about Roman Reigns, the Russos, the Rock, Rikishi. We're not talking about Farouk. We ain't talking about Farouk. We talking about the ones that look more acceptable for the industry. But it was something crazy that happened. I'm guessing they with everything being scripted in wrestling nowadays, that I'm guessing basically they had a match. And I guess the script was supposed to be that they basically lost the match. And they walked away. Now there's been a bunch of allegations that been popping up and shit, but If y'all just see it for what it is with these two women and how they come to the game, cause like I really, other than my boys, like my son, them, like I really ain't watched wrestling probably ever since like my mid 20s or some shit like that. Like just caught an episode or some shit. But it's it's plain as day what they tried to do to these black women, and it's kind of sad at the same time because you know, in this day and age, even in this blue washed sport and entertainment, it's like you never had like black women to hold a title like longer than like what maybe 3 4 months. And I just look at the situation like they just basically they stepped down or they left the WWE because of racial discrimination, especially them wanting them to throw the match. When physically, I honestly, and it's just me looking at a lot of this shit, like physically, man, ain't none of them blue hoes over there can fuck with them, bro. That's just like if niggas remember the chick Jackie back in like the early 2000s. You know, we were young niggas then. The black chick that had the big, yeah, she was the only black chick in the WWE. She was about the only one who was giving China like a run for her money. Like, but you remember she had like the she had the if you know what I'm talking about. But like, I don't even think she held like a title like longer, than a couple months or whatever. And I look at the media, certain media outlets are trying to define their character and shit. These two black women character because they stepped down. And it's bright as day, like, sometimes these folks walk away from these sports entertainment brands and shit, and they can't speak on what actually happened. Sometimes they have to sign, non-disclosures and all this shit. But just my opinion on it, like for what I see, what it was and everything I've seen in the media, to me, I'm thinking that they wanted them to throw the match. They wasn't highly popular among the wrestling community, other than like the black people that watch wrestling, and it's just a fucked up situation. So I caught one video. I really ain't watched it, but y'all can watch it with me or whatever. And y'all just y'all let me know what y'all perception on the whole situation is. I just feel like these black women were taking over a sporting brand that was predominantly ran by blue men and women. And like they just stepping on shit. Even with if you think about like the Russos, uh Jacoby Kingston, them, like all these people of color that's actually in the wrestling sport and entertainment business. And like a lot of them, like they really be put in these situations when physically and mentally you looking at them and you knowing like, bruh, I know you can get on dude ass. And it's like when we watch it, we see what's going on. And I just really think these women just stood up on their shit, brother. I ain't want to be like them niggas, man. To be honest with you, that's just how I felt about it. And we all know like Vince McMahon history with black people. We all have heard about it. If you like a fan of just wrestling and anything, because even growing up, you know, and even for the people that run this back, like growing up, you think about it like ECW and WCW, ECW and WCW had like the most black wrestlers on their shows. I'm just saying. And shit, ECW probably had the biggest number of them when you think about it. But it's not about the niggas, man. It's basically about these two black women, man. It's in this dominated, this blue male dominated industry, and they basically say they're suspended, but if you watch close, you know what's going on, man.
Sasha Banks and Naomi, the now former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. being indefinitely suspended and stripped of their titles after walking out of this week's Monday Night Raw over what was said to be creative differences over plans that had nothing at all to do with them as tag team champions, but that would have seen them used individually to help basically put over the Raw and SmackDown women's champions. They took their ball and they went home. And it also appears that both of their contracts may be up shortly. So there's a chance that we may have seen the last of both these women in a WWE ring for a very long time. Things have gotten very nasty in the last 48 hours. They were suspended and stripped on Friday. They had all of their merch pulled off WWE Shop. WWE pulled down their official Facebook pages. They removed them from the signature at the start of the shows. Naomi has scrubbed all mentions of WWE from her social media bios. One thing is for sure, this made Monday Night Raw more interesting than it's been in years. And that's without them even appearing on the show.
Okay, little wrestling history. The only 2 times I can know in my history, brother, I can say that it was probably one of them moments on Monday Night Raw when something over the weekend happened. It probably was a shock. It probably was a shock or whatever. I say the pay-per-view match when Owen Hart died. When I was 10, 11. Shit. Man. That probably was the most, other than, growing up and my brother like buying like these like overseas documentaries that show like how folks get treated, folks getting their hand chopped out, shit like that. Other than that, like this was probably the most graphic that I ever seen something that happened on wrestling. And that Monday night, it was kind of weary. The other one incidents I say when, we realized like that this shit financially, it must be something behind the wrestling companies when WWE bought WCW in the mid of them actually on like live broadcast. And that was the first time I ever said, like, I don't know if this wrestling shit a monopoly or what, but this right here, when I really deep dived into it, like the last 2-3 hours, like, it's something bigger going on with this situation. Because you got old and new Afro-American wrestlers, sport and entertainment entertainers like standing up and talking about this shit, man.
Everybody was picking this whole thing apart all week long, wondering, is it a work? Is it a shoot? Especially after what WWE did on SmackDown this week. A lot of people still insist that it's all a work. I don't know why people think it would be. This is World Wrestling Entertainment that we're talking about here. When was the last time they put together a story as compelling as this? These are the same people that gave us Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss stealing Drew McIntyre's sword and then interviewing it in the ring. When have they demonstrated the ability to write something as interesting as this? So let's take it back to the beginning of Raw on Monday night. WWE came on the air and they announced a 6-pack challenge for the right to find out who would be challenging Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship at Hell in a Cell. Becky Lynch, Asuka, Sasha Banks, Naomi, Nikki Ash, and Doudrop were the names announced for the match. Nikki and Doudrop have been doing a storyline that was leading to the two of them becoming a team, probably with Nikki finally dropping the superhero gimmick. They already lost once on television to Sasha and Naomi, but yeah, they run.
Oh, okay. So this shit scripted just like how these women beats be up on YouTube and shit. Oh, okay. Continue.
On the same matches back so many times, nobody would have blinked an eye if they would have done the match again on pay-per-view. And it looked like they were also setting up for a triple threat match with Bianca defending against Becky and Asuka. So when they announced this match and I saw Nikki and Doudrop involved, I figured, okay, this is to build to another match with Sasha and Naomi because they're in the match too. Otherwise, why the hell would those two even be in this match in the first place? You know, Nikki and Doudrop. Especially Nikki. She's been losing all of her matches. I thought they would do some fluky finish involving Becky and Asuka, or one of them would win and the other one would end up being added to the match at the pay-per-view somehow. But that all went up in smoke when Mike Johnson broke the story on PWInsider.com. He had it first that 2 of the 6 talents involved in the match had left the building. That being Sasha and Naomi, said to be over issues with the creative that was presented to them. They met with John Laurinaitis, they laid their women's tag team belts down on his desk, and they walked out. They then had to scramble to shoot something backstage to explain the change to the main event, which they had already announced not even 45 minutes earlier. So they had Becky Lynch inform Adam Pearce that Sasha and Naomi, they packed their bags, they left the building, and she wanted to be named #1 contender by default. And Pearce put her in a singles match with Asuka instead. There was no explanation given for why Nikki and Doudrop were suddenly out of the match. More than once during the show, Vince McMahon fed the line to Corey Graves that Sasha Banks and Naomi summarily and unprofessionally walked out. They summarily walked out. The only thing missing was a nonetheless or a notwithstanding to fill out the Vince McMahon bingo card in case you couldn't tell who that line came from. People were attacking Graves on social media for calling them unprofessional, to the point that Carmella felt she had to stick up for her husband and say, imagine still living in a world where you think he just says whatever he wants. He does his job, period. Nothing like that gets said on the show without it coming from Vince McMahon. How do people not understand this by now? Why would they go after Corey Graves? Well, I mean, I know some of these people are unhinged. We know that, but why are you going after a guy who is, repeating lines that are clearly being fed to him? Vince McMahon is the one who is feeding these lines and this type of stuff to these people to regurgitate on the air. I mean, they're all his robots to program. He writes the code. He updates their firmware. He patches them himself when they go off script and they say something that even remotely sounds human. Pat McAfee, I think, is the only person who is actually able to get away with that for the most part. But that's because Vince knows that Pat McAfee he's a made guy. He doesn't need this. He can walk away from this at any moment and still be a multimillionaire. So Becky and Asuka, they've worked together plenty of times. So it wasn't hard for them to put together a match on short notice. Asuka misted her in the face when the referee wasn't looking, kicked her in the head and pinned her. So Asuka is going to challenge Bianca next month. I still think Becky.
Okay, that's just a breakdown of them talking about how shit scripted and all this. Just giving you a backstory of it. Now this next content creator / ex pro wrestler. I say he was one of my childhood favorites. Nigga was a WWE champion. One of the first WCW champions to come over from WCW to make sure I'm on the right one. Let me see. Okay. To come over and actually have get a title over at WWE. He was once a tag team champion of the world. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas always know him, man, when he put it like this. The John Cena shit, you can't see me. He nigga I'm finna bring up, he was the first nigga to ever do something like that. Then he did a breakdance move in the middle of the floor. You know what I'm talking about? Probably the coldest nigga you ever seen with a high top fade and dreads. Salute to the guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Big Booker. you know, kind of was saving him for last though. You know, because he was one of those that kind of, even when he transitioned and stopped wrestling and shit, like, you know, they never could defame his character or nothing like that. Like, he probably was the only one that they literally tried to seclude him, and for him, they tried to seclude him to sit at the table. They gave him a seat at the table. You see what I'm saying? But he got his own podcast now, man, and he kind of talk more in depth up on the situation as well.
Yeah, we can definitely tackle that because it's been all kind of talk. You know what? Let's start with Mark Henry.
Okay. Well,
Mark
I have
Henry.
you want me to put the quote up from Mark Henry?
We got to. You know what it said?
No, don't get me.
Wait a minute. Read it exactly like it's written.
Okay, well, this is from Mark Henry when he was talking about the actions of Corey Graves really announcing what happened. Mark Henry said this: "My issue was not even with the walkout," referring to Sasha and Naomi. "My issue was not even with the disagreement or the disclaimer. My issue was with the people on the show saying that it was unprofessional, because I'm going to tell you right now, if that was my wife and I'm working on that show, I'm walking down to the announce table and I'm going to say, hey, you stay unprofessional, or you stay professional, do your job, and then I won't have to walk down here to the ring to tell you not to do that again." Now, he's referring to, of course, Jimmy Uso, the husband of Naomi.
Wait a minute. Put that back up again.
Yes.
Give you a little backdrop. Jimmy Russo, Jimmy Superfly, what they great granddaddy name? I think they call him like the Samoan chief of wrestling. You know, I wish one of the old heads would come in, you know, like Smoke a Hum or Uncle somebody, you know, they can kind of give a little backdrop of certain people name they name it right now. So a lot of these people really been people of color that really the same they granddaddy, they daddy, uncles, go through this shit in wrestling. And they just ain't going, bro. And even Mark Henry making a statement about it, you know, because like I said, when I first came on, like, even the media, certain media outlets were trying to portray it one way when you can plain as day see what the fuck is going on.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay.
So he's referring to Jimmy Uso's the husband for Naomi Naomi, and then and he's referring to Corey Graves, who said on the Monday Night Raw broadcast that Sasha Banks and Naomi summarily and unprofessionally walked out.
Yeah. You know, that's it, when I look at this kind of stuff, it's almost like, you know, back in the day, I always used to wonder why when a baby face turned heel, he forget how to wrestle. You know.
See, they gave The Rock a seat at the table because they wouldn't give it daddy one. If you even look at that coalition that The Rock was in with Farouk and them, when they tried to start that whole movement, you know, that movement really came from over from the WCW when them guys got signed to the WWE. And it looked like Vince kind of fucked that whole shit up for The Rock and be the nigga that come out, you know, in the forefront of all this shit. You know, the niggas remember D'Lo Brown, the nigga who used to be with The Rock back in the gap. The nigga used to always jerk his head left or right. We walk down the shit. Like, you gotta think about this shit. Like, a lot of them dudes ain't around no more, but them the same dudes, you know, Sauce Walker was talking about when he was dissing The Rock a couple years ago. So The Rock was always kind of destined to be the borderline, the not the borderline wrestler to trying to use the right word. The Rock was accepted because of his skin color. He made the best of an opportunity because out of all the other superstars, like, they weren't trying. Trust me, when The Rock came into WWE, The Rock was not the nigga that they were trying to. The Rock was not perceived to be what he is today. Meaning this, It was only one other super wrestling superstar who they gave like TV shows, movies, like probably the only one that probably got paid off action figures from the 90s. Yeah, that was the name of. Yeah. But Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. Think about it. You got John Cena doing movies, all these other wrestling superstars doing movies. So kind of answer the Zeke question about that. I don't think they expected him to be a larger than life superstar that he is today. Because even when you look at it, like he done surpassed the superstar status that Hulk Hogan had. Like if we're gonna be honest about it, like you really can't. If you look at Hulk Hogan career and you look at the Rock careers, damn, they're like basically the same. Basically the same, damn, they're the same, but times change, the money different, especially in Hollywood. um wrestlers getting paid from energy drink companies and they getting sponsorships and shit. So the times and money way different, but I just don't think that they would have thought The Rock would be the man he is today, especially not with they having a blueprint coming from Hulk Hogan. Even when you look at Ric Flair, like Ric Flair is an entity of his own, but to go back to the Rock question and just to think about it, like shit, they didn't expect that. They didn't expect him to be that nigga, dog. So they kind of they didn't expect him to be the large and light superstar that he is today. So they kind of put him in certain matches and shit. And even if you look at, you know, certain shit, Rock kind of broke out of his scripts a lot of times though. Especially when you think about matches he had with Stone Cold and Nick Foley or Mankind rather. Like Vince McMahon used to hate The Rock, man. But The Rock was good fucking entertainment. Like you couldn't knock that. He had charisma, man. He had personality. Like you can't knock that, bro. I don't give a fuck. I went to all black school. Nigga was doing, hey, nigga raised that motherfucking eyebrow like it wasn't shit. You feel me? Nigga was doing this shit out in the classroom. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, Zeke, when really just bring it back, like shit, he got through the door. He kind of trying to stand up for the blue boys. You feel me? And I know they punching the air because ain't none of them blue boys that they been bringing in since The Rock actually took like his acting career and all that shit seriously. Ain't none of them blue boys been able to follow that blueprint that Hulk Hogan laid out in the 80s. They tried to. Or you can even look at it like this. What move if the WWE films have made that you seen The Rock in? So really, he kind of finessed the system a little bit and used it to his advantage when you think about it.
You know what I mean? I'm just using that analogy for a second.
I think I see where you're going with this.
Now it seemed like going to AEW just make you forget about how the business actually really.
Man, I ain't trying to get off topic, man, but that's why, hey, they family story though, that's wild, man. If this the dude that it was like five of them, and I think it ain't number like one of them living there. They family story wild as fuck though. That shit was crazy, man. Like that shit crazy as fuck. Yeah, y'all fanatics, man. You think back to them.
Now, Mark, I'm 100% sure Mark Henry knows that what comes out of Corey Graves' mouth is something that he was told to actually say. Okay, normally 9 times out of 10, especially something to that magnitude.
Wow. Something that he was told to say. Damn. Let's bring it back right here.
Why when a baby face turn heel, he forget how to wrestle? You know what I mean? I'm just using that analogy for a second.
I think I see where you're going with this.
Yeah, it seemed like going to AEW just make you forget about how the business actually really works. Now, Mark, I'm 100% sure Mark Henry knows that what comes out of Corey Graves' mouth is something that he was told to actually say. Okay, normally 9 times out of 10, especially when it's something, to that magnitude, because I don't think I wouldn't imagine that's his personal opinion. Okay, I don't think he would have an opinion, just like he said on his show about this. He said that I really can't speak on it because I really don't have enough information. But on the show, he's there to do a job, and if I'm almost sure Mark knows that Corey Graves was doing his job, so that's what's really really shocking about that. Mark knows better than that, and then again, if Jimmy was to do something like that, so Jimmy goes to the announce table and he gets fired that same night as well. All right, so that makes no sense. It's to me, and I would think Mark Henry, Mark knows that. I'm a friend of Mark. Mark knows that. I don't know if it's just to get their internet buzzing or anything like that, but Mark knows better than that, and to hear that it's shocking more than anything. As far as Naomi and Sasha, and now the seem like the story is getting more fluid. Seem like it's going to get, at least what they're saying, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
The announcer had said that what Sasha and Naomi had did was unprofessional, and what Naomi husband, she married to one of the Rock cousins or whatever. One of them chicks married to the Rock cousins, and he basically confronted the dude on live TV.
There again, I just think the situation should have been handled differently. I just don't think they should have. Like I say, if they wanted to go out and get the job done and then walk out and say, "Hey, look, whatever you got plans for us going forward, we got to talk about it, or we're not in for it." I get that, but to up and leave the show for anybody to support that, like I say, it's setting precedent as far as guys just wanting to walk out and leave the show. And me personally, I run a business. I run a small wrestling company. And when guys come into my company thinking that way, we're never going to get any business done.
Yeah. I'll say real quick to Mark Henry. Yeah, I mean, look, he knows better than that. And I love Mark. I think Mark's a great guy and super talented. But I think that, look, first of all, to say I'm going to be unprofessional to somebody who said my wife was unprofessional, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And two, yeah, I mean,
Corey, I did it that way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Michael Cole said a lot of stuff too.
Michael Cole did the same thing, and people are coming for him online too. And I'm like, guys, look, Corey Graves. Nobody says summarily, except for one person in this world, and I think that one person is probably Vincent Kennedy McMahon, right? So like, let Corey have a little bit of lax there.
Well, the thing is, if you go and talk to Corey going to go tell you, hey, you need to go talk to somebody else about that.
Yeah, I didn't say it.
And then,
I said it, but I wasn't told. I mean, I was told.
Well, exactly. So I'm doing my job, and then there again, you put yourself in a position to, get fired and look a certain way as well. I mean, come on, man. Like I said, I think Mark knows better than that. But the situation, it's definitely something that's have dominated, social media. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's wondering if it's a work or not. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not 100% either way, whether it's a work or not. I'm leaning towards it's not. Okay. just because of the way it was handled, just because of the way we're talking about it right now. And there again, I just think this whole situation could have been avoided in front of the media. Whether they left the company after the fact or not, of what happened, that's here nor there. But I do think all of this being in the media is just blowing it up to a proportion to where we're looking at it like we're like hanging on the edge, wondering what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
You're looking for press clipping to see, if has any news come out. It's that type of stuff. So for me, I just think it could have been avoided and handled a little bit differently. And there again, Jimmy not being involved in it, I don't think it would have done him any justice. Jimmy's doing pretty good right now, and I want to see him stay on that path more so than anything, opposed to jumping into something that is really not his business.
Okay, that's the most coonest shit I ever heard. Check this out. If it's not his business, but this is old lady, that is his business. And the way they family kind of side up, that motherfucker leave WWE now, man. Financially, they'll be straight. But I really just got to point out this statement to say that's a coonish statement to make, especially if the man defending his wife. Oh shit! Hold on. ESPN in cahoots with WWE too, so. Shit.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, and again, I think Jimmy knows that Corey or Michael Cole, and we'll talk about a little bit. I mean, there was an announcement from WWE on Friday regarding the status of Sasha and Naomi, but Michael Cole or Corey Graves, again, they're just the messengers. Like, you don't shoot the messenger, right?
Yeah.
And Jimmy, perceivably right now, Jimmy doesn't seem to be affected by this, at least professionally, because Friday night they're the new unified tag team champion, right?
Yeah.
I think if you're going to punish a guy, you're not going to give him a crowning achievement such as that. And honestly, WWE in years past, whenever situations like this has occurred.
So basically, I'm guessing the blue people in this all the blue people looked at it like these black people acting a motherfucking fool. We done gave y'all so now we're gonna take this shit away. Y'all don't like the way we running shit. Y'all don't like the way we got this script going out. You see what I'm saying? Y'all don't want to run this play with us. We gotta get y'all out of there. That's basically what it sounds like. Especially if dude won a belt, but they think he don't supposed to stand up for his wife. That's crazy, man.
And there's a couple involved. I go back to CM Punk, AJ Lee. Hey, they did right by AJ Lee. They never buried her. She had a WrestleMania send off, like the whole 9 yards, right? And then she asked for a release. So they're not really that tight from what I've seen to where they're going to punish a spouse or a girlfriend.
I don't think this has anything to do with Jimmy. Just like Jimmy's problems didn't have anything to do with Naomi.
Right, 100%.
So I think it worked both ways. I think it would be smart to keep a check coming in the mail, and I think
Oh man, that nigga let me down.
These guys, from a perspective now to where they can just jump up and just do anything because AEW is over there and they can run over there and get a job. Well, AEW ain't hiring everybody. Okay. And I'm not saying that they won't.
Yeah, Booker T Conan right now. Give y'all a little backdrop of who the ownership of AEW and even they whole background consists of. AEW is owned by I think the dude named Sean Khan or something like that. The nigga that owned the Jacksonville Jaguars. He like the only he's the only minority owner of a football team. The CEOs or the people that's running AEW, meaning Dusty Rhodes' son. A lot of people know how Dusty Rhodes get down. He fuck with black folk. If you didn't ever been with your round about the great Kamala junkyard dog era. If your people them ever took you like, to the wrestling events down south and shit. It's shit we used to go to growing up. I just put it like that. But his son, which is married to a black woman, they run the whole operation. You feel me? AEW have a wrestler who's AEW is the new generation of doing things in this society. Not saying I agree with. They got one wrestler is like it's up. Y'all have to just see that shit for yourself to see whatever. That's y'all perception of it. But I don't know, man. I just see some coonish statements going on right now from Booker T. It really kind of surprising me, but just give y'all a backdrop of AEW. They are owned like by they do have a minority that owns the company. Like it's not a company that's gonna fold. He do have bands. Like he own a football team. You feel what I'm saying? And like even the people that running the operation for him, like they are a interracial couple. Damn, boy. Booker T let me down right now. Damn, he must be. I think that nigga from Alabama, man. This shit crazy, bro.
Don't hire Naomi and Sasha, but I'm just saying they're not hiring everybody. There's a lot of people out there right now in this wrestling world that don't have jobs, and AEW easily could have signed them. Guys out there like the Joey Janellas of the world that AEW didn't re-sign. So that's a business, and they're going to be looking at certain things as well. So, like I said, I just don't think it's something that we should be even, jumping on board talking about how somebody should handle this. I think it's going to be handled, and I think it's going to play out at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's not. And the thing is, it's not going to be good. I don't think.
Well, I mean, there's only so many things that can come of it, right? And again, but I agree with you. Like, just because you're romantically involved with somebody doesn't mean that should affect your work and should affect you at the workplace. Like, there was a time to where I'm
Okay. We might got a topic for another live then. Let's run it back. We might got a topic for another live. Okay. I might be pushing out one more live for the
And the
day.
thing is, it's not going to be good. I don't think.
Well, I mean, there's only so many things that can come of it, right? And again, but I agree with you. Like, just because you're romantically involved with somebody doesn't mean that should affect your work and should affect you at the workplace. Like,
Ladies and gentlemen, boy, I wish I could put my Jack the voice on right now. Wish I could do like my boy Jack the voice. Not be doing his little interest. But ladies and gentlemen, check this out, man. I got a question for y'all. If you and your spouse or significant other were working in the same workplace and you seen some inappropriate going on, would you would you would you intervene and be like, man, one of us got to keep this check going? Will you let it affect? Will you let it affect your work performance, your attitude at work, shit like that? But this shit crazy, bro. Now this crazy.
there was a time to where I'm sure if you had an issue with something, they weren't going to take it out on Charmel, right? Or vice versa. When y'all were in TNA together or in WWE together, like I don't think that it typically works like that. So people were saying
A motherfucking lie.
Jimmy's okay. I think Jimmy's going to be just
A
fine.
motherfucking lie.
And as far as being on screen, I don't think he's going to do anything to it.
I don't think Jimmy has anything to do with this. I mean, I really that's the way I feel about it. And there again, I'm like this. I wish we didn't even have to talk about this. I wished there again, that this could have been handled a little bit differently.
Okay, from Houston. He kind of look like Shino in the face, though. It might be one of Shino, cuz. Ain't no telling. Oh, but nah, that'll make sense, though, if he from Houston. That kind of makes sense why Sauce Walker always bring him up and shit. I want to say one of them wrestling niggas is his goddaddy. One of them niggas is.
The world that there again, the social media world, they're going to take it and they're going to run with it, and the thing, and then they're going to build their own stories. As far as what Sasha's thinking, they're going to create a story about it. What Naomi was thinking, they're going to create a story about it. That's the sad part about social media, and putting it out there where all of these sheets are picking it up.
They create stories on YouTube too, baby.
It's something going to be said, and I'm sure it's stuff that they are speculating on. So my thing is this: until the real story comes out, as far as what's really happening, we got one side. I just want to hear the other side. Until we hear that, I'm gonna sit back and lay out and see exactly what happens. Guys, you're in the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute. At the Hall of Fame here on ESPN 97.5, 925 every week, man. And that's the only way I know how to do it. We got any super chatters, Brad?
We do. And also, real quick, before you take that super chat, I want to take the opportunity to plug. You talked about Mysterious Q earlier. Mysterious Q will be wrestling Anthony Ogogo on AEW Dark, so make sure you go check that out.
Yeah.
And tag Reality Wrestling in your comments. Let them know that the Reality Wrestling is representing strong big all time over the world.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's big. That's big news right there. Because AEW, I'm gonna tell you right now, if they were to snag a guy like the Mysterious Q, they'd be picking up a diamond that's already ready to be sold. I'm telling you this, guys. So that's don't miss out. I don't even call him the Mysterious no more. I just call him Q.
Don't miss out on Q. AEW Dark. Watch it. And make sure you tag Reality Wrestling. Here is Super Chat, and this is going to be something that we had to talk about. So this is this guy named Alex said, Book, if you had workers who walked out like them, would you only suspend them or would you fire them? I feel like them being only suspended is lucky. For those you don't know, on Friday, Michael Cole did make the announcement on SmackDown that Sasha and Naomi have been suspended indefinitely.
On the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer discussed WWE's reaction to Sasha and Naomi's abrupt exit from the arena. The company's actions paint a clear picture for other wrestlers who are unhappy and thinking about leaving. While they are under contract, we will bury you if you do it. However, WWE reportedly isn't planning to fire Banks or Naomi, despite their decision to walk out of Monday Night Raw together. Dave Meltzer explained that WWE won't release Banks and Naomi with the obvious reason that they don't want AEW landing either star. Meltzer also brought up the infamous title exchange incident between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, noting that the Queen wasn't fired despite her actions. For those who have asked, Banks and Naomi are still listed internally on the WWE active roster. This is in line with a tweet from Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp on Friday night, who reported that neither Naomi nor Banks had been released, despite the promotion pulling all their merchandise from WWE shop. While Naomi and Banks are getting trashed by commentary,
Keep that in mind when he said about them dude said it earlier about them taking all their merchandise and all that shit down off the websites and shit. So keep that in your memo pad and shit, you know what I'm talking about?
on Raw and SmackDown for walking out of the company following a booking dispute. Reports suggest that there are those who wish they could do the same. In a recent PW Torch audio update, Wade Keller offered an update on the current situation with Banks and Naomi, stating that the locker room is divided regarding how the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions handled the situation. I can say there are people who in that locker room, colleagues of theirs including active wrestlers and otherwise, who are disappointed and not sympathetic to the way Sasha and Naomi handled this. There are others who think this is a cool thing that they did, and they sort of wished that they had the guts to do something like that and take a stance. What side do you fall on in the current situation?
Nah, why would even they make a statement to say that they wish that they was like them to take a stance? And you telling me that this shit ain't that they didn't walk out because they were trying to write a script because the blue people didn't like the two black women held titles in the WWE. I mean, even when you think about it, like her old man confronted her announcer, dog. This ain't just about no fucking script. This shit ain't about no script at all. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. But the way out of here, the coon and come out book T mouth and just the in between of what they saying and what it sound like. They don't. You see this picture, man. You see it. You see it. You see it. They don't like it. Look at the background. Oh, you see a blue people down there in the crowd. Even if you watch it on TV, you might see a couple. You know, you're gonna see a row of black people. You're gonna see a couple. But in a predominantly blue sport, this right here, they don't like this shit at all. Man, hold on, let me see. Okay, that's a t-shirt. I'm finna say she got 2 belts. Okay, they definitely don't like y'all, eh?
With Banks and Naomi. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and click the bell icon to get latest WWE news.
Their merchandise has been taken off of WWEshop.com as a part of the suspension. WWE says they have no plans to release either talent. That's according to Sean Ross Sapp. However, they are suspended indefinitely.
Well, the question was, well, would I suspend someone or would I fire? Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I fired somebody last week for talking to Charmel. No, my thing is this, man. If someone was to walk out on a reality wrestling show, I'm like this. I couldn't.
Hey, Jade, she got them legs though, Jade. She got them legs though. She kind of remind me, man, with the hey Trill, what the chick name, Stacy Keebler. Stacy Keebler. Yeah, she got them legs like Stacy Keebler, man. Let me slow down. Let me slow all the way down. She got them legs though.
Because they would be only working for me just that one night. You know, if they're my student, or just say for instance, it was one of my students. Yeah, I was fired. One of my wrestlers went out there and totally went against the grain one night after I set him up to win. And I told him to pack his bags and I never want to see him again because that's not the way this works. I give you a script and you want to go out there and go out script. This is what happens. You get fired. It's just that simple. If I had someone who was on the card that night and said, man, I ain't doing this because I don't want to do a job tonight, you know, get up out of here. You know what? I'll give a friend of mine, and I would call him a friend. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call him a friend, but I would call him.
Hey, Trill. Yeah, them about the only two that was on point to me, but Jackie was my baby though. You know, Jackie, yeah. You know, you remember Jackie. Yeah, Jackie, I'm going back on mute, man.
An associate, a close associate, because we came up in the game together. His name was Alex Bartow. He was a wrestler back in the day. He actually worked in the WWF for a minute. They called him the Pug. And I remember Alex Bartow. He came to WCW, and they were going to give him a tryout. And the person that he was going to be wrestling was Marcus Alexander Bagwell for his tryout. He was going to be doing a job for Marcus Alexander Bagwell. He said, "I don't do jobs." And he told him to pack his bags, get the hell up out of there. He left there. He ended up going to WWF, and he lasted there for a while. I don't know exactly what the reasons was why he didn't make it in the WWF. But yeah, that's normally what happens when you got guys who don't want to work, because that's what this is a work. We have guys like, just say for instance, let me speak about back in the day as well as reality of wrestling. We have guys that show up to reality of wrestling, not even knowing if they're going to be on the card or anything like that, but looking for a shot. And that's what sometimes you have to do in the business to get your foot in the door. You got to go out there and you got to put some work in. You got to pay some dues. It's just that simple. So yeah. I will fire. I mean, I'm not saying them. I will fire the person, if they did it to me at one of my shows. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, WWE.
Yeah, we're gonna box Trill. We have to box for her. Well, I don't want her no more though, cause I know she old. She old. But boy, back then though, Lord have mercy. Boy. I call her Jackie. Lord have mercy. I ain't gonna count. She could have, man. She could have breastfed me. I ain't even finna count. But yeah though. But I'm gonna wrap this up with a little short man, it's a long ass documentary, but oh shit, man. We grew up in the jacket state, you know. We grew up in her era, goddamn it. Shit. I don't want to say what I want. Lord, bro, that woman could have breastfed me, man. I ain't gonna count. Boy. She was sitting on about a 44E triple stack at my line trail. See, I don't know, man. I don't know. Stacey Keebler, everybody, yeah, she kind of had she kind of reminded me of she was kind of like the Pamela Anderson. Is the woman name Pamela Anderson? She was kind of like the Pamela Anderson of WWE to me, man. She kind of was in a way. You know what I'm saying? Trying to see how I can make this go to the. Oh, there it go. She kind of was in a way though. But yeah, she was alright. I say Stacey Keebler, Ric Flair daughter, and yeah, that was alright. But yeah, Jackie, that was just my baby though. I ain't gonna count. Trying to see that they have let me see. She was about the only one for a long ass time. She was about the only, yeah. I'm trying to see other than the chick that came from TNA, the WWE. She still up for speculation though. I don't know, man. She had a strong face, but she wore them boxing gloves, Trill. Yeah, she was crazy. But yeah, man, kind of bringing the end into this live right here. Cause I got one you know, about spies and some more shit. Kind of conspiracy live, shit. Nigga like Red Squid and South Dallas, King of Apollo and them, King Harlem, Honey K, a lot of them can tap in at that one. I probably run that one a little earlier than normal. But I'm probably gonna play maybe 10 minutes of this, and if anybody want the rest of the documentary, just hit me up on IG. I'll send it to you. But they just talk about like just you know the racism in pro wrestling or whatever. So okay, because you can't really hear what dude's saying. That's Hulk Hogan. That's Hulk Hogan. Um, I don't know if everybody remember this incident or whatever. So he just say, so it gets to the point where I don't know if Brooke was fucking the black guy's son or they was been hanging out. I caught them holding hands together on the tour. They were getting close, kind of. Then they got the interlude. I'm guessing he was saying some mumbling in the midst of it. They fucking. I'm not a double standard type of guy. I'm not racist to a point. Fucking niggers. But then when it comes to nice people, and I'm just saying that was the statement from him that kind of after it, you know, uh, I think his like he really ain't been in the spotlight since then. You know what I'm saying? And this go back to the whole conversation about the Rock and Hulk Hogan from earlier. You know, Hulk Hogan was the like he was the wrestler from the 80s that was in all the movies, everything. The whole blueprint, that they tried to get a John Cena and all them. Honestly, in the midst of all that, just based off how the Rock perceived itself, how he had to kind of go a little extra than everybody else because it was the Attitude Era. If a lot of people forget, the era the Rock came in when he was actually that nigga, him and Stone Cold. This like at the height of the Undertaker career. Like it was the Attitude Era and DX too. I can't forget about DX because I don't think a lot of them guys would be where they at today without each other and the storyline that they played. Even in my childhood to some of this shit, because niggas used to be around the school talking about some tree. What nigga goddamn used to be quick to do this shit in school though. But man, just because the Rock was a fair skin, he was he was kind of mixed with what Black Polynesian, um Samoan, and Hawaiian because his it's some kind of weird shit. I don't know. I guess some black people in Canada be from like Nova Scotia and shit like that. But his daddy, when you look him up, he like a black Polynesian or some shit, you know. But when we looked at him, I put like that. You look at him, you would think the nigga black. He had a regular black name, all this shit. But yeah, Rock took that blueprint, man. He took Hulk Hogan blueprint, which they tried to give it to the Blue Boys, and like he elevated this shit. And shit, it kind of funny that this the recording that's playing.
I love pro wrestling. There's just something about this glittering world of choreographed combat and over the top theatrics which has struck me to my core since I was a small kid. a form of escapism which for me is unmatched in its ability to entertain me in such a way that I may, even if only for a brief hour or two, be transported away to another dimension. I love pro wrestling. There's just something about this glittering world of choreographed combat and over the top theatrics which
There you go, Tree.
to my core since I was a small kid. A form of escapism which for me is
Shit,
unmatched in
man.
its
Good morning,
ability
Mr.
to
Park.
entertain me in such a way that I may, even if only for a brief hour or two, be transported away to another dimension, filled to the brim with exaggerated characters, balletic action, and pantomime drama. When I was relentlessly bullied as a little fat kid, wrestling helped me to escape the day to day pressures of the school playground and drift away to this grappling universe where I could ignore my chubby little body and the problems it was causing me and imagine what it would feel.
No second takes. It's pure, it's base, it's live action artistry. These people, these characters.
To you personally where you're from, and that's great. But don't build a character because someone's Russian, they have to have a Russian flag and a big beaver hat. Pro wrestling has mishandled race and continues to do so to this day. And for me, it's one of the biggest turn-offs. It makes me cringe. Sometimes it even makes me embarrassed to show parts of wrestling to my friends. And as a lifelong wrestling fan, that isn't a good look. But what is racism?
This is the most outrageous thing I've ever heard of in my life. Did you by any chance hear this latest thing from Colonel DeBeers? No, what's that, Larry? Colonel DeBeers, standing at ringside with Lee Marshall, wants another wrestling match. He wants to wrestle you. Yeah? He says that if you win the wrestling match, he will give you $2,500. Yeah? Okay, go on. He says if he wins the wrestling match, he gets to paint you white. You've got to be kidding.
Racism can be defined as organized systems within society that cause avoidable and unfair inequalities in power, resources, capacities, and opportunities across racial or ethnic groups. Racism can manifest through beliefs, stereotypes, prejudices, or discrimination. This encompasses everything from open threats and insults to phenomena deeply embedded in social systems and structures. Racism can occur at multiple levels, including internalized, the incorporation of racist attitudes, beliefs, or ideologies into one's worldview, interpersonal, which are interactions between individuals, and systemic, for example, the racist control of and access to labor, material, and symbolic resources within a society. Racism persists as a cause of exclusion, conflict, and disadvantage on a global scale, and existing data suggests that racism is increasing in many national contexts. Whatever the cause, these racist moments destroy the fun I am having and completely tarnish my love for pro wrestling. Put simply, who cares? I'm just a white man who is moaning about something which, for the most part, doesn't directly affect.
Where you, the Iron Sheik, and Honky Tonk Man, we're talking about the Chris Benoit double murder and suicide.
Yeah.
Did you know Chris Benoit at all?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so for those that don't know, Chris Benoit killed his wife,
Hey.
70-year-old son, and then killed himself.
Yeah, that was a crazy ass story too.
And when it happened, I guess.
Hey, that was a crazy ass story too. I seen that documentary, that whole thing. That was crazy. Oh yeah, man. I guess the toxic niggas and baby daddy suck the we be Generation X, The Rock, and we got Stone Cold over here. You know what I'm talking about? They can have everybody else. Oh yeah, and Undertaker. They can have everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Certain, wrestling stars were trying to defend him and so forth.
Yeah.
But you felt very differently.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Nancy and I were friends.
and we was cool when we would do shows in Philly mainly.
We just met Parker. We just caught Booker T cooning. You know what I'm talking about? In the widest way.
We go to the bar, and after she done had a few drinks, she was like, "New Jack, you want me to my room?" You know what I mean? And I was like, I said, Nance, I got you. Don't worry about it. So I'll walk into a room and make sure she got in the room all right, and I'll go back to the bar. And we would travel together sometimes. And when he killed her, it didn't register to me that that's who he had killed, because they kept saying the wife of Chris Benoit. They never said her name, and I didn't put two and two together. So finally, when I did, I was like, that mother, you know? And I was like, for everybody that's got something good to say about it, they can suck my, you know what I mean? I was like, that I'm not going that mother aid. I'm not going to be standing behind him talking about how good of a wrestler he was. I think he's a piece of shit. And everybody that didn't agree with me, I told them, y'all can all eat my ass. I'm like, I don't give a about none of you.
That's an absolutely horrific story. And along with that story, you know, people try to pin him doing that on CTE and brain damage, concussions, and so forth. But you don't feel any of that related to
He never got hit in the head. I'll show you tapes of Benoit putting his hand up in the way of it, taking a chair shot. You know what I mean? He never got hit in the head. So that was maybe steroids, but it wasn't no guy that you just mentioned. It wasn't that. That never happened.
Well, in the process of this conversation, you know, that kind of developed over Chris Benoit, you had made a comment that, you know, ECW was seen as violent and dangerous, but only one person died while you were there, whereas WWE has about 3 people die a year.
Yeah.
Who died in ECW?
Louis Fagoli.
How did he die?
Pills. Overdose.
Okay. How many people have died in WWE?
A few. A lot.
Okay. Because you had mentioned that
it's crazy, man, because, you know, we never hear about their stories and shit, man. Other, you know, growing up and we saying, you know, niggas actually witnessed the Owen Hart shit. You know, that shit was live when that shit happened. Other than it, like, you don't ever hear these stories.
Vince McMahon had blood on his hands and he keeps getting away with murder.
Yeah.
Explain that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Eddie Guerrero. Okay. My bad.
Owen Hart, when he died.
Salute to the 4 Horsemen, man.
He died at a show in the ring. And Vince still had the show. The show went on. You know, and his wife sued him. I think she sued him. You know what I mean? But it was like every time something would happen with one of his wrestlers, he would brush it over like it didn't happen. You know what I mean? And time would go by, and he's like, "Okay, we'll let that go away, whatever." You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, "How in the this guy? Every time somebody dies, he gets away with it." You know, and that's why I said he had blood on his hands, because so many people kept dying in that company, and just they just had a guy die like 2 weeks ago. You know?
Yeah, I remember Vince was on Real Sports like a long time ago, and they were asking about all the people who died and so forth. And I remember
I don't know how old this nigga is now, but he still got a fucking eye ring, dog. Well, eyebrow, whatever y'all female call this shit. God, what? You can kind of tell shit. He took a couple shots, man. Hit down. Damn. Yeah, that's my year having them barbed wire matches. The way his
he got mad and like
look at his forehead,
hit the
man.
guy's paper out of his hands.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No.
You know, when you talk about the WWE,
Good morning, Mama.
you've never
baby.
been a part of that.
No.
I guess you made a comment that you heard that when speaking about you, Vince said that he wouldn't hire you because he can't control you.
Right.
Okay, do you believe that?
Yeah.
Okay. But on the flip side, people also look at you as you being a financial liability, you know, with the stuff that you do. I mean,
true.
You know, suing Smoky Mountain is a whole lot different than suing the WWE. You're not going to get very much out of Smoky Mountain.
No.
Or the ECW, which ended up going bankrupt. But
Right.
the WWE is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. I believe it's a public corporation. You can buy stock in WWE.
Yeah.
What do you think overall about Vince McMahon?
I think he's a piece of plain and simple. He's a piece of
And why is that exactly?
because of all the stuff that he's done. You know what I mean? He'll bring people in, and when their run is up, he'll embarrass them. He'll maybe go out and have a match, and it'll be some degrading ass. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he's known for.
I swear, man, none of these videos I played, like, strategically, I watched, loaded up on the internet. But if this little part don't sound like the situation that happened, I don't know what is.
And when their run is up, he'll embarrass them. He'll maybe go out and have a match, and it'll be some degrading ass. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he's known for. You know, they had him on bring people in, and when their run is up, he'll embarrass them. He'll maybe go out and have a match, and it'll be some degrading ass. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he's known for. You know, they had him on that one night where he called somebody in with John Cena. And I was just like, what the, you know? And he continues to do that and he continues to get away with it. And I'm just like, what, dude? I mean, I wouldn't do that and he continued to get away with John Cena. Grading ass, you know what I'm saying? And that's what he's known for. You know, they had him on that one night where he called somebody in with John Cena. And I was just like, what the, you know? And he continues to do that and he continues to get away with it. And I'm just like, what, dude? I mean, I wouldn't last 2 weeks in WWE.
Well, I remember I interviewed Mark Henry, who was, you know, a big star in WWE. And we talked about a situation where there was a storyline where they were referring to the black wrestlers as silverback gorillas.
Yeah.
And he approached Vince about this, and he said that Vince supported him and asked him to approach the writers, and they got it taken out. But overall, Mark spoke highly about Vince and their organization. Storyline where they were referring to the black wrestlers as silverback gorillas.
Yeah.
And he approached Vince about this, and he said that Vince supported him and asked him to approach the writers, and they got it taken out. But overall, Mark spoke highly about Vince and their organization. Do you feel that WWE is a racist organization when it comes to the black wrestling?
Man, you know, they come from New Jack. Man, like, New Jack was a different type of nigga. That's all I can say about this shit. He was just a different type of nigga, dog. I want to say he not knowingly knew the dude was underage and shit, but he murked the nigga in the ring. Real shit. Okay, boy. Yeah, man. What up with the DJ? Man. Boy, drop that bit one more time, man. Man, any one of y'all want to come in, drop some commentary to this shit real fast, before I end this bit. I'm finna go into this The other shit, I found a wild ass video, man. That's all I can say. It's like about off spies and shit, man. Shit crazy shit though. But Trill though. That I do remember this shit now though. You broke down the situation, yeah. Wild ass shit used to go down, man. For real though. Hell, I used to think nigga that played. I used to think the nigga that was gold. I used to think he was this. I ain't gonna count. I think we all did though. At one point. This shit just crazy though, man. Even the way they try to play with them girls top like that. Or whatever. But hey DG, I don't know if you had product. I know you once you heard about it. Look at it, but man, I don't know if you caught up on this shit though, man. You see the title and shit. With old girl Sasha and Naomi. For the people that kind of came up in here, I'm gonna see can I find. Okay. This update. It might be clickbait though. I don't know. It might be clickbait. I don't know. Before we close the bitch out though. Let's see.
A situation. As you may know by now, Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out of WWE and vacated their women's tag team titles. In response, WWE announced on Friday Night SmackDown that Sasha Banks and Naomi are indefinitely suspended from the company. This is not a work. It is not a scripted storyline. This is as real as it gets. And unfortunately, it's a very sad situation. WWE says that they are going to hold a tournament to crown brand new women's tag team champions, as Naomi and Sasha are currently gone from WWE. But the question is, what is the truth about the situation and what is next? Behind the scenes, WWE is preparing to do something that some fans might see as uncalled for and unjust. Naomi and Sasha Banks, they have around 3 to 6 months left on their contracts, and then once those expire, then they can go and do whatever they want, go to any company they want, go and have a movie career, whatever they want to do with the rest of their lives. Behind the scenes, WWE, they are currently working with law enforcement and attorneys to figure out what they can do to punish Sasha Banks and Naomi. And Sasha Banks and Naomi are not very happy right now. WWE does their best to always present a positive face, to always look like they are in control and that their superstars are all perfect. And that's why they are so upset and disturbed about this Sasha and Naomi story, because they feel like that Sasha and Naomi made them look bad. So now they're doing everything they can to bury Sasha.
And that was the point, even the shit I was seeing on social media and shit, like, that's what my perception of the shit was, that the media was trying to help them bury them. But if you look at the whole situation and even the last clips that I played, unexpectedly even hearing it, like, man, they tried to put them chicks, man, in a fucked up ass situation, dog, to humiliate them. And they wasn't going. One of them is married to a Russo. which is the Rock cousin knowing like the Rock bloodline in wrestling is like, I don't even know what I say. Like they like the Mannings. They like the Mannings. They bloodline like the Mannings. Like all them motherfuckers that look like that over the years, couldn't find out all their ass cousins. All of them. All their ass were cousins. They were fighting against each other and they were cousins the whole time. All of them. Rakisha, all of them. Uncles and all. But man, you see the play, man. That's all I can say. You see the play, you see what they're trying to do to these black women, man, and they wasn't going, bro. They stepped down. So exactly. And you know, with the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and Chris Jericho being like the owners of AEW, you know, shit, that bag is there. That bag there. That's all I can say. That bag there, you feel me? That bag is there. But I just think it's fucked up, man. That's all I can say. That's why shit I really just jumped out my bed when I was just scamming through all this shit. And I was like, man, let me go talk about this shit, man, cause this a fucked up situation or whatever. Cause I don't just watch wrestling. Like I don't let my boy them get it on the TV or some shit. Oh man, I ain't watched this shit in so long. But man, just this whole situation, you know, is honestly, I think they're trying to bury them because they know that these females, these women, they can file a lawsuit against them. Cause I mean, when you perceive it to see what it is and whatever they saying, going on, you know, on the media and behind the scenes, like even you look at the situation, it wasn't because it was a fucked up script. You see what I'm saying? You know, wrestlers fuck up scripts every day. What's up with it, G? Wrestlers fuck up scripts every day. Shit, this motherfuckers on YouTube fucking up scripts. Or shit, somebody come, you know, put their hand up in their pot and mess up their playing shit. You feel what I'm saying? And that's exactly what they did, dog. That what happened. And we done seen it too many times, you know. Motherfuckers that probably grew up, you know, being a wrestling fan. You know, they don't let us be up there for long. You feel me? That's why I think at the height of the Rock career, he kind of, you know, he left when the getting was good. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? He left when the getting was good. I think after that nigga third movie he did, I said, oh yeah, I take that back. I'm gonna tell you when I knew the Rock was gone. Tree Appeal, I know you done watched that movie, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. Do anybody remember the movie? Damn. John Travolta played up in it. Christina Milian. The Rock played up in it, but the Rock played a zesty dude in the movie. He was like Vince Vaughn bodyguard or some shit. Nigga had an afro in the movie. When that nigga played in that movie, I said, yeah, he don't need that wrestling money no more. It's over with. You know, it's over with. We gotta write that down too, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the Rock is in that category. I know that probably won a lot of people couple to Be Cool. That was the name of it was. But yeah. I was a young nigga and I seen this. I said, yeah, he up there. He up there. It's over with. Like shit. It's over with, goddamn. What your boy say? Your boy say, hey man, I know what you like. You like the Roscoe chicken and waffles. Man, go order some Roscoe chicken and waffles, man. I know you like that. Man, your boy. Your boy The Rock had the most zestiest line of the year in that movie, man. I ain't gonna repeat it. 'Cause I ain't finna let nobody use it as a soundbite on my ass. Nope. I ain't repeating what The Rock said in that movie. Nope. Just know he was talking about a chicken bone. Just know he was talking about a chicken bone. That's all I can say. But yeah, man, after that, it was kind of shit. It was kind of old. It was kind of old with for him at the WWE shit. He was in Hollywood then. He had did. That was like what the conspiracy theorists say that was the they little ritual in the movie he had to do. Oh, Jen, just watch Be Cool. He can explain. Man, watch Be Cool. Y'all think I'm lying? That's what I'm saying. Folks kind of forget, man. E- even me bringing up, I had to think about. Y'all got to put The Rock up in that category because he did play a zesty role in that movie. He had a zesty ass line too. What that nigga said about that chicken bone, man, about that drumstick, man. Nah, about mm-mm, mm-mm. For real, for real. Oh, I forgot. Okay, okay, I see it back in the comment. You say you saw it, but yeah, he did that though, for real though. Let me see what else up in here, man. Before I end it, bit.
Sasha and Naomi. Of course, we have not heard from Sasha and Naomi, so we don't know their side of the story. But things are about to get very bad for them. WWE, they're currently working with local police to prepare arrest warrants for both Sasha Banks and Naomi. And the reason why they're going to arrest Sasha and Naomi is because in their contracts, it says that if they do anything to demean the company, to make the company look bad, to do something against the rules, WWE has the right to arrest them. And WWE hopes that.
Damn, Zeke, you been up in here with me since I started it live, huh? That shit crazy. Well, yeah, like I was saying in the beginning of the live, I was like, I didn't know if they had non-disclosures or any like thing, like any clause in their contract that said anything about them kind of demeaning the character of the company or anything. Well, they signed that bitch. That's crazy. So if they get arrested, the only other kind of measure that they can take is to kind of do a counter suit and just sue them for racial discrimination. Um, they could probably hit them with well, all that be up under. They honestly probably can hit that with a whole civil rights case. They possibly can because the way they even side everything up. Because honestly, I don't even see the explanation for them to even suspend it, like any of them really, but to arrest them, that's crazy as a bitch.
After they're arrested, they will spend a lot of time in jail and possibly be sent to prison. And there is legal precedent concerning people breaking contracts and then being arrested for breaking the contract. So this is nothing new. It happens all the time in business, but it just depends what is written in that contract. And WWE, as we know, plays hardball, and they do not take any wrestler stepping out of line. And that is why they wrote these contracts like this, so that things like this can be taken care of ASAP. And unfortunately, it means that Sasha Banks and Naomi are going to be spending time.
I ain't even get that nigga the time to finish that even statement up on my live. But check this out. We're gonna let that the picture of them ladies rock out like that, man. Just like that right there. I hope that this live was very informative. None of these videos I played was like constructed to even be loaded up. I just really went off the hip with it. But that shit crazy as a motherfucker. But man, yeah, Trill it is. It's some bull. I know them niggas they from the Carolinas. I think. I know. I already know that. Yeah. I played a little clip of it. Of a documentary about that already. Then we played the clip of Booker T talking about it. People witnessed Booker T was cooning in the video, whatever. That shit crazy though, man. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I know I got that DJ gonna pop out fast, man. I already know it though. But yeah, man, it's a crazy ass story, man. Hopefully, I get some updates, man. I get some more updates. I'ma spin it back. Y'all already know how I do it. But tell little bro probably hey little bro, you can I don't know, you probably I don't know, 'cause shit, bro probably know more about this shit now here than I do shit, 'cause I been on here with y'all. But man, I get in more updates about this, man. I'm gonna come back to this story though. But man, shit the next live though, man, we're gonna get into some government conspiracies, man. You know, spies, they whistleblowing and shit, you feel me? And they basically get knocked off. The bin is actually that's what I'm saying. They ain't they Soldier Part 1. They said something about their country. It was something, man, that video said it was something about their contract, man. Breaching the contract. The breaching the contract. That's why I had said the whole situation just sound fugazi. And even if you listen to New Jack video on Vlad, like he said, they put them in bogus situation. When they get tired of them, they put them in bogus situation and matches and shit for they can get rid of them. But I think yeah, that's what it says. But yeah, man, we'll come back, man. Hopefully, our conspiracy theories, y'all tap in, man, to the next one though. But shit, everybody here in the work that probably got you in the ear. Y'all probably got me in your earbuds and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all have a blessed day or whatever.
To give you what you need. Internationally known but locally respected. Allow me to introduce y'all to my homie, Racka. It's your turn, baby.
I don't really want friends, I ain't shaking no hands cause these niggas be cool with the op. You fucking the planet, put two in your top. Grab the 762 cause the Ruger is hot. With a big booty bitch when I cruise in the drop. She give me head to the league like it's not. Still sitting black in the off-white jacket. Never had lights, but I still told her red. Got granny in the kitchen when I'm cooking up cat. Dante at the door with the FN plan. Baby, with the police, fuck nigga ghost. How you family going picking out the cash. My little bitch from A-List, she do nails and lashes. Mix with Creole, she do spells and magic. Foot on the pit, I'm grinding, I'm mashing. Walk in the bank like a model of fashion. All the blue hunters I got, I've been counting so low, my finger got blueprint. 2016 coupe biz with the blue tint. 3.5 backwood for the blue bin. Extend on my clip, leave a fuck nigga rip. 250 a line, that's 100 a seal. 100 rounds in the chopper, shoot like Will. fold a nigga up like a quilt. We smoking jealousy, then she 300 a zip. Championship ring blinging, that's a trophy. Ice on my neck, man, my shirt look soaky. I just spent 1,600 at Oak. I can never let a op turn into a Zop pack. I just met a thought knew to drop where the ops. Accidentally shot a cop, trying to learn how to FE cock Mac. These niggas cap, socks hat. Yeah, they run their mouth like a podcast. That's why my business I never broadcast. On the block we checking niggas all fast. Killers creeping out of tall grade. All black Alexander McQueen, I'm a king. These niggas acting just making the scene. I got my best thing from a fiend. I shoot with great aim like I'm Robocop. Glock 9 bang like a monoblock. Put up 8 plane in the soda pop. 20 in the bank and I got more stop. Went to Solomon and dropped a 40 watt. 10 for the bracelet, it's a prom set. Killers come and kill you while you having phone sex. Nike dunks, I got a long I don't really want friends. I ain't shaking no hands cause these niggas be cool with the op. You fucking the plan, I put 2 in your top. Grab the 762 cause the Ruger is hot. With a big booty bitch when I cruise in the drop. She give me head to the league like it's not. Still sitting black in an off-white jacket. Never had lights, but I still told the rag. Dog granny in the kitchen when I'm cooking up cat. Dante at the door with the FN plan. Baby, with the pole, even fuck nigga ghost. Hey, family going picking out the cash. My little bitch from A she do nails and lashes. Mixed with Creole, she do spells and magic. Foot on a pill. I'm grinding, I'm mashing. Walk in the bank like a model of fashion.